Alright, dickheads, welcome back to Practicing Portraits, an artwod roadmap. Yes, I just notioned to a blank page, but what is artwod? The best platform in the world to teach you how to draw from imagination, right? Where they give you the work, not the shortcut. Work that lets you draw like this after 3 years and 7 months of practice, right? Work that involves learning how to draw simple forms, right? It's not easy, but learning how to draw simple, right? Simple forms, right? And learning how to manipulate those forms, right? I only understand line, form, and perspective, and barely at that, right? This channel is a repository of my practice. It aims to prove anybody can draw over decades, because it does take decades to get even halfway proficient. And with that being said, get your pen, get your paper, and draw along. Let's put in a lot of fucking effort, because the effort is the only thing that we can control. I should honestly intro this as like, welcome back to another fucking session where I just yell at a piece of paper while grinding my brain, right? But genuinely, I'm getting tired of this intro too. Don't you worry. Fuck, what rep are we on? Fuck, I think we're on rep 20, right? If I'm wrong, then I'll just make the next rep 20, because I'm either on 20 or 21. I'm pretty sure it's 18 and 19. And we're on rep 20 now. But what am I doing? I am looking at a portrait reference via line of action. I've linked it in the description now, right? I'm using them for the portrait references rather than the same fucking 15 faces on Pinterest. Line of action has a much larger repository, right? But alright, looking at the reference, encompassing that reference in a box, putting a sphere, fucking Jesus Christ, I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. I can't even explain this properly. But I'm looking at a reference, I'm visualizing a box, right, as encompassing the reference, the portrait, inside a box. I am then calculating all the diagonal cross-axes on the invisible and visible planes of the box. When I visualize the box, I'm also visualizing and I've already started thinking, by the way, because drawing is thinking, right? I've already started thinking, and let's see, this angle is actually really interesting because this woman's face looks like it's, okay, I'll do side profile here. This woman's face looks like it's like this, right? But that's incorrect. It looks like it's probably foreshortened like this, but that's completely incorrect. What it actually is something like this. Because if we look at her eyebrow line, right, to her eye line, to her ear, it's this sort of angle, right? And then it is something like this. Yeah, it's something like this. And why is it like this? Because her jaw is straight. Think about it, right? In the Loomis head, the jaw is angled like so. So of course, if the face is tilted up, right, the jaw would also be looking straight. That is my interpretation, right? But this is basically, and I could, like, this is again, very, very, very rough interpretation because I haven't started actually drawing properly yet. But yeah, like this is a great angle because it's a difficult angle. But yeah, anyways, I'm visualizing the box. I'm visualizing the diagonal cross axes on every single invisible and visible plane inside the box. And then I'm going to calculate the 3 center planes inside the box, right, as per the diagonals. And then I'm going to calculate the ellipses inside each center plane. And then I'm going to calculate the ellipse the sphere that is essentially encompassing those 3 ellipses into the perfect circle, which is what resides inside the box. And this is going to be the foundation. This is the schema. This is the neural not neural, I guess mental representation, right? Mental geometric representation that I'm building for the foundation of the Loomis head. And this, obviously, this level of work, this level of geometric spatial calculations is what results someone to be able to draw this without even drawing this for 90% of their practice, but only focusing on understanding form and space, right? So anyways, if you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, literally just go to the previous video and be like, oh, okay, he's doing these calculations, I see now. But anyways, please draw along. Get your pen, get your paper, draw along. Because, oh, fuck me, oh, that was an accident. Oh, god damn it. This pen is clearly absorbing a lot of ink. But anyways, I'm already starting to visualize this, but I need to get the angle correct. And I need to ghost slower as well. Right, and I don't know what the fuck this angle is, to be honest. I'll be completely real with you, my guy. I have no idea. I have no idea whatsoever. But we need to try to understand this to the best of our ability, right? And I think it's a box that's tilted this way, because her face is tilted this way, right? Like upwards. Like if this is the side profile, she's like this, right? And then her ear, the eye to ear is like this. The eyebrow line to the top of the ear is like this. And the real question is, what is the angle? Because I got this tilt and I got this tilt. Now, so I have the Y and I have the X, right? What is the Z? What is the depth? And the depth looks to be, this could actually be foreshortened. Or sorry, converging. This front plane could actually very well be something like this, right? Something like maybe this is the box, right? That could be it. That could be it, because again, there are very little markers, and by the way, I'm thinking it's just I'm struggling a lot, but like there are very few markers to actually because usually use the eyebrow line as the marker, right? But this, because this is such a narrow part of the face, it is so difficult to even conceptualize this. But while I'm trying to conceptualize this, I'm already thinking through the form, right? I'm already thinking through the form, and I think there is quite a bit of convergence. There's gonna be probably a vanishing point very close by, right? Because I'm also trying to figure out the lens, right? Is this a wide lens? Is this a medium lens, right? And lenses are basically just fancy ways of saying what is the conversion ratio, right? How fast are these is the perspective converging, right? If it's long, it's not converging much at all. It's basically at 1 point. If it's medium, then it's converging a decent amount, like maybe, let's say an extra 30%. And then if it's a wide, right, then it is converging very fast, right? That's why like wide angle lens, like characters fucking go diagonal and they bend in like this, right? Or just like anything, kind of like it all follows this really, really, really close vanishing point. But anyways, like I am thinking quite drastically, but I'm trying to build the ability right now to understand. Like it's so hard to understand. Like this side profile is an incredible challenge right now, because I have no idea what the angle is. I have no idea what the fuck this box looks like. I'll be completely honest. No fucking idea what this box looks like. And yet I have to draw it, right? I have to draw it. And honestly, I think, like I do believe it is converging. I genuinely think it's something like this. Right? Something like that. And then something like this. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. Like this type of box. Yeah, genuinely, that's the only thing that... Oh, fuck me, I hit the camera again. God damn it. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. By the way, this is what I'm trying to visualize at this scale. Like this seen through form, and then I'm trying to think about this diagonal, right? On the opposite end, this one. And again, it's very like this one on the opposite plane, this one on the front plane, this one on the top invisible plane. Fuck, I did that wrong. Anyways, but that's like the first step, and it's a very difficult step. It's been 7 minutes and I can barely see this, but I'm gonna be drawing for 2 hours today because I didn't get to do my 1 hour of piano. So if you can't, that's 1 hour of deep work I'm unable to do today. So I will simply replace it with 1 hour of deep spatial reasoning work, right? But I think that is relatively accurate. Looking at this, I just have to get the narrowness of this down, but overall, yeah, I think that's pretty accurate. So I'm just trying to think a shit ton about the seen through form. So right now I'm really trying to think about the seen through form, right? The seen through, and I'm getting better at this. It's actually crazy, but I am getting better at seeing this this XYZ, and I'm constantly going back to obviously looking at the reference and then trying to build a schema in my mind, right? And a schema is just a mental model. It's just a mental representation, and that representation is created by taxing your working memory, because drawing, draftsmanship, art, values, composition, gesture, these are all thinking skills, right? It starts with spatial reasoning, of course. Everything is the spatial reasoning, and form, space is the foundation of all of this. But I want to be very clear, like, and probably it's too late because we're fucking hundreds of parts, 100+ parts in, but whoever's here from the future, or like fucking when this video comes out, right, I want to be very clear. All of these skills are thinking. I would never want anybody to think like, oh, okay, so spatial reasoning is thinking, but I'm practicing gesture now. I don't need to think that much, right? Because it's not spatial reasoning. No, dipshit, right? I'm just being a dick for no reason. But yeah, anyways, no, dipshit. There you go. That was better. If I'm gonna be a dick, I gotta commit, right? But it's not just one skill. It is every single fucking skill. Every single fucking skill. Did I have to say that really good? Every single fucking skill, right? It's every single skill. And I'm trying to think about the cross axes, right? I'm trying to think a lot about the cross axes, right? The visible, the invisible, right? Ooh, okay. So I'm really starting to see it decently well. Oh my god, I'm actually starting to see the box pretty decently. It's like a solid 35-40%. So yeah, that is what I consider pretty good, by the way. Like that level of visualization, I can't see anything past that. And seeing is also a very relative term. What do I mean by seeing? Like when I say visualization, what I mean is a vague idea that is being forcefully represented onto the page while also being calculated in my mind, right? I calculate in my mind, I also try to project that calculation onto the page, right? But that is what I consider to be seeing. Now, is this angle easier because it is converging into one vanishing point and there's not like an extra plane to think about? Like usually a third plane that's visible to think about? Possibly, right? Possibly. But it's also very difficult because I do have to think about how much this is converging. And I don't think it's converging as drastic as I should be, as I'm making it here. Like, I think it should be even more subtle than that, right? Like something like this. Like very, very, very subtle, right? And I think this is maybe what's converging a little bit faster, right? Let's see. Either way, like similar, and obviously I made that box too large. I just want to extend it out. That's not about the accuracy of the box. That's just about my own like trying to understand the convergences, right? But again, like how much is this plane? Like how much are we really seeing this, right? Maybe it actually is converging quite fast because the plane is the front plane of her face is basically like as much of a side profile as it can get. I want to be very clear. Like this is basically as much of a side profile as it can get. So her face is literally like fucking one eye, the nose, right, and then the lips. So if that is it, and then we know that the edge of the plane is roughly around their eye, right? Like this is the box. Let's just say like this is the head as well. And I know like I'm fucking up a lot of space next to it, right? It's okay. I'll manage to fit another one here. That's fine. But this is good for my own learning. So is it not something just like this? And then at the edge here, right? And then we got this one and this one. And there you go. That should be relatively accurate, right? Something like that. But then again, like the middle of her face is the center line, right? So if the nose is fucking here, that's clearly wrong. So that's so confusing. That is so confusing. This is great. So I'm going to be spending a lot of time trying to figure out this box and continuously trying to visualize it, right? And I think I think genuinely it might actually be something like this then, because that's the only way that I can see this nose sticking out and completely like, and then this is the eye right here, right? And then this is the fucking lip or whatever. That's the only way I can understand to myself that this, because this is the center line, right? This is the center line of this plane, right? Again, like if it's something like this, other way, fuck, is it something like this? The only way I can conceptualize the nose being essentially like blocking the entire other side of the face and the eye being right around here is, and like, you know, this is the lips or whatever the fuck, right? Is if this plane is that narrow. So that means the box must be something like this, where it's converging drastically, right? Like genuinely drastically. Something like that. And this is what creates that perfect cube. That would make a lot more sense to me as well. So I'm going to really try to lean into this. I'm going to really try. I think that makes sense. I genuinely think that makes sense, right? Because, yeah, I don't see any other way. And I could be wrong, by the way. Let's not forget, like, this is all problem solving, right? This is me ideating and this is me explaining my ideation so you understand exactly what I'm thinking, right? And the whole point of this is I'm trying to demystify art, right? I'm trying to demystify the process. So I want to be explicitly clear on the thinking part, right? Like, oh, this guy is constantly, and right now, like, he's trying to see through the form and he's trying to see the entire box, and I am seeing it pretty decently. I'm not gonna lie, like a solid half the box is there, but am I seeing the calculations? No. So I'm gonna, before I rest my brain, right, I'm gonna lean into seeing this entire box and every single invisible side and the visible side, right? I'm gonna really lean into seeing that, and I'm gonna try my fucking hardest. This is where I need to pee, what the fuck, to be, not to pee, peeing comes after the drawing, but anyways, I don't know why I did that, but anyways, I'm trying my hardest to hold this box, right? I'm trying my hardest to see every invisible plane and visible plane, right? The XYZ visible, this is the XYZ, right? The fucking 3 axes Y, as I like to call it, not the official name, but anyways, I'm trying to see that, and I'm gonna just, for at least 10 seconds, this is the discomfort that we have to lead into, right? Where I'm just gonna try to see absolutely all the diagonals that exist, and my mind is like struggling a lot just to hold the box and the scene through form in, because obviously I don't have anything anchoring my visualization, right? I haven't made any line that confirms or at least, like, yeah, anchors the box, right? If I just made one line, like this line right here, it would anchor the box, but I don't have anything like that. What I mean by anchoring is it would remove the cognitive energy to visualize just that part, and then it would also be an anchor to visualize the rest of the box. But I don't have that, so I must create, maintain, and consistently proportion the box as is, right, in my mind on the page. And now I need to see the diagonal, so I'm going to try to hold that as much as possible, and now I'm going to try to see the diagonal cross axes on every single visible and invisible plane. And this is really taxing my mind, and this is exactly where I want to be, and it's fucking beautiful. It is actually beautiful. It's one of the best feelings ever. Oh god, I'm nutting. Anyways, and now we rest our brains, because that discomfort is what you lean into, right? That is where your brain is essentially like hitting output regression, right? But I talked about this a million times. My girlfriend actually challenged me not to talk about any motivational shit today while I draw, to talk about something random. I've been failing miserably because I'm fucking drawing and I'm trying to be serious. I'm trying to be very serious. But anyways, rest your brain, please. I encourage, what the fuck, I already said rest your brain. I'm gonna rest my brain too then. Yeah, by the way, I want to say, I fucking get it. Like, I get that this shit's hard, right? No shit, because I've been doing this for 100 hours and very discernible progress. I mean, probably some discernible progress, but, did I say very discernible? Very little discernible progress, what I meant to say. But, like, yeah, there's 100% progress. Of course there is, over 100 hours. But I'm saying, like, every day doesn't feel like progress, right? Every day, that's why the only metric you can give yourself is the progress of trying as much as you can. Oh, and I forgot to say earlier today, but I didn't feel like drawing at all. I didn't feel like drawing at all. So by the way, okay, so let's see. Let's try to hold the entire box in. So I get, what I'm trying to say is, like, while I draw this, I get it's fucking hard, right? I get that just trying to think about something that doesn't exist, trying to calculate something which is based on the thing that doesn't exist, that you can barely think about, right, is extremely fucking hard. And that's what you have to lean into, because you are creating a mental model. You're creating a representation, you're creating a schema, and you are taxing your working memory. So while I'm talking right now, I am in extreme cognitive friction, right? I was gonna say distress, but we are not here to glamorize the fucking starving, dying artist, pussy ass bullshit trope. No, 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 my friend, no, no, no. It is purely a methodological approach, right? And yes, expression will exist, right? Expression does exist, but expression comes from playing around with what you know, right? So, but you need to practice and push what you know in order to play around, right? Like, a lot of artists say play, and I completely agree. Like Antonio from Artwod, my lord and savior, gluck, 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 right? Like, I fucking completely agree that you need to play, but the playing is this. It's 10% of my practice, and you will find your own ratio, of course, of how much you're gonna practice fundamentals versus play. But I will obviously say that the more you practice fundamentals, the higher your ratio, at least like minimum 50 to 60%, the more benefits of your play, right? And again, like, I specifically don't have much time in the day. I have an hour a fucking day. Today I have 2 hours because I couldn't do piano, so I might as well just do art, right? But I'm making an active choice to do the hardest thing, right? That will give me the most return on investment. Right now, it's me barely fucking being able to see this seen through box, right? Being able to barely see this seen through box. And that's already like causing a pit of discomfort in my stomach, because that's how I experience my discomfort. You may experience it one way or another. And now trying to hold that to the absolute best of my ability, and now try to visualize the diagonal cross sections on this side plane, yeah, okay, see, like, it's hard for me to conceptualize that both the top and the bottom plane are invisible, but there you go, like, this bottom plane, this top plane, this side plane, right? It's extremely hard to hold all of this, because of course everything's diverging. The invisible sides are diverging, converging. They're all fucking spazzing out all over the place, and I have to be like, no, please, my friend, please. hold it, motherfucker, please, goddamn it, hold it. But yeah, like, you have to constantly tell your brain, like, bro, you're wrong. But you can only do that by constantly trying to be aware of where you're wrong. And my speech is stilted because I'm actively really taxing my working memory, right? And I'm probably in output regression right now because I can't even see the box anymore. And this is where I have to lean in. This is where you attach dopamine to ears. This is where you feel good about the mistakes you're making, because right now in these moments of friction, what's being released is acetylcholine and norepinephrine. Norepinephrine is the fuck you. Norepinephrine is a stress molecule, I believe, something like that. And acetylcholine is the spotlight. It's the attention molecule. So when you're releasing these two, you're stressed and you're trying to find and you're paying attention, right? You're stressed and you're paying attention, and that's why when you attach dopamine to the ears that you can't notice, you're putting a spotlight on those ears, and you're telling your brain, you need to pay attention to this. You need to pay attention to this. Like right now, I know this back plane of this front plane here. I know because this front plane is very narrow, but this back plane, the back plane is much wider, right? And my brain is constantly not able to visualize that, right? So I need to constantly give it that input, be like, hey, you're not able to visualize that correctly, and it's also partly due because you can't visualize the invisible X, Y, and Z, or sorry, fucking X, Y, X, Z, right? Fucking Y, X, Z, yeah, there you go, right? But like, you're not able to visualize that, so it needs to just be constantly reinforced to me, and this is why paying attention and being aware of your mistakes and constantly being able to see more than you can do is very important. So That was very difficult. I'm gonna rest my brain. We're gonna do that one more time. That level of intensity in terms of seeing the form, seeing through the form, seeing the diagonal planes. Fuck, not planes, diagonal cross axes. And then I'm gonna actually draw the box, and that's gonna relieve a lot of cognitive, a lot of mental bandwidth to do the next thing, which is to actually even more clearly see the cross axes on every visible and invisible plane, and obviously to see through the form and make it a lot easier to actually see that invisible planes and invisible X, Y, Z, right? And to start visualizing the center lines as well, right? The center planes that are in line with that invisible X, Y, Z, right? Or invisible cross axes. Like what I mean by this is like every single plane has a diagonal cross axes, and then every single side has a plane, right? Like, and this one is gonna be pretty fucked. I'm pretty sure this is just straight, right? Pretty sure this is just like as straight as can be, straight as an arrow, right? And then this one at the top. And then the next step is obviously fucking putting an ellipse inside of it and being like, kill me, it was so difficult, kill me, right? In Minecraft. And then that is where our perfect sphere, perfect circle lies, and that is the head, right? This is obviously incorrect because the eyebrow line's like here, so the eye should be here, the nose should be here, and the lips should be here. But whatever, fucking, it's all in my head, right? I'm going crazy. Anyways, please rest your brain. Let me rest my brain as well. It's a lot to think about. Geometric volume is extremely difficult to understand, and that's how it should be, right? Because if everybody could do this, then what I'm doing would A, have no merit, B, would have been achieved 10 times over already, right? Yeah, art is fucking difficult, bro. Art is difficult. Today is just one of those days where I'm like, it's hard to zoom out sometimes, right? Because I know the merit of what I'm doing. I absolutely know it, right? The foundational schema that I'm building is something that 99% of artists don't have or don't even care to build. But I don't care about the 99% of artists. I care about the 1% that I'm enamored by, right? And those are elite draftsmen who can draw from imagination. Pen and ink elite draftsmen who can draw from imagination. And that isn't that isn't to say that there is not much to learn from those who do not have the skills that I'm seeking. But that learning will have to come later on when I have the mental bandwidth to learn and appreciate those lessons, right? Like right now, again, okay, you have to understand, like while I'm trying to visualize this, I'm constantly losing it. I just lost the back plane, I just lost the side plane, the side invisible plane, like this back one right here, right? Like I just lost it, and I can't even see the diagonal cross axes, right? But I'm trying to. I'm really fucking trying to. I'm actually really glad that I genuinely think I'm getting better, because clearly I can, at the very least, I can encompass the box much quicker in this, seemingly. All right, I can definitely feels like I can encompass the portrait reference itself much quicker in the box, right? And also understand the depth of the convergence much better as well, right? But what's it called? Anyways, like that just as an aside, like I'm struggling quite a bit, right? So if this is my mental bandwidth, and again, I've already basically probably hit output regression, but I'm really trying hard to visualize all, like, and by visualize, I mean calculate. Like this is what I'm trying to visualize, by the way. I'm trying to see this, and then this, and then this, and then this, and this side, and then the invisible side, right? The invisible side that also exists. And then and this is obviously, fucking rough interpretation. I'm trying to calculate all these diagonal cross axes on the invisible and then the visible, right? And then the next step is the center plane and the ellipses inside the center plane and so on, right? But this is what I'm gonna be here for. This is gonna take me minimum at least 200 to 300 hours to internalize the schema in every single fucking angle, right? Like it is absolutely incredibly difficult, right? And that is why it is worth it. Like I don't mind spending years chasing this thing, and again, people I can't even speak right now because of how hard I'm thinking, but like people will most likely not understand, and that's okay. And these are just things I'm telling myself, right? Whether this narrative exists or not doesn't matter to me, but right now it feels as if it exists because I have a fucking public facing channel, right? But actually everybody's been very, very kind. But Actually, some person said they're like, yeah, this is how I know people are beginners. Because okay, so this is the thing, right? While I'm gonna talk about what I'm talking about, you must know that I'm not only am I narrating what I'm thinking about, which is already very difficult. Now I'm gonna be talking about something that's completely unrelated, right? That is taxing my parietal lobe and that's competing with my prefrontal cortex, right? With my working memory. So I'm trying to already hold at least like a dozen calculations in my mind, right? And I just felt really good because I made a huge mistake with seeing the bottom of the invisible plane, like this bottom invisible plane, this one, that's invisible, right? This fucking one, right? This one, just so you fucking know. Jesus, like that one. Yeah, anyways, but like I just made a huge error, so I just corrected myself, right? But the foreshortening is making it very difficult. And again, you see, like I did the foreshortening this way, but I started like this, so that's wrong because it's tilted, right? So my brain is constantly making these mistakes, and I have to keep fucking sound like a bird. But anyways, I have to keep visualizing this. But let me talk about something completely unrelated, which also taxes my working memory, right? Which is the fact that this is how I know some people are beginners, because it's not understanding the value of the work that's being done. And I'm not saying I'm doing the most valuable work in the world, but I'm simply doing the work that I know that others have already done that are 100 times better than me, right? Again, I want to keep reinstating and stating and restating whatever the fuck is the fact that like nothing I say is new. Nothing I say is special either. Nothing I say is absolutely anything important, right? In terms of like, wow, what a revelation. It's simply already been said 100 fucking times before, thousands of times, by those 1 million times better than me. And I'm simply regurgitating their advice and taking it to the absolute core. I don't know why I say absolute core. Again, I don't think that makes any sense, but I'm just taking it to as much of an opposite extreme that I can, because I love min-maxing, right? I love doing the difficult things, and I've trained myself to love doing the difficult things, right? And again, my brain just created the bottom plane like this. That's wrong. It is converging. It created that, but this is the bottom plane, right? So roughly, but that's like, again, something I have to feel good about, and then I have to fix as best as I can. I'm trying to zoom out because my brain is zooming in a lot, right? And now I'm just trying to see the box. I'm not doing any ghosting. I'm trying to see the box because seeing through this form is already very difficult, and now I'm going to try to really lean in. There you go, pit of discomfort's back. I'm trying to calculate the cross axes. Okay, so while I'm trying to do that and I'm really, really struggling, let me do the other extremely difficult thing, which is saying like, this is how I know people are beginners, right? Because somebody basically commented on a couple of videos ago, they're like, interesting thought experiment. What I'm doing right now, building this spatial reasoning ability, right? Building this geometric volume fucking foundation, the schema, this mental model, this simulation in my mind, this 3D simulation in my mind, which exists in every single angle possible and is seen, and the goal is to see it as clearly as I can, right? As the foundation for the Loomis head. They're like, interesting thought experiment, but have you tried moving on to the other parts of the roadmap, right? Such as the planes of the head and all that shit. And I'm like, yeah, no problem, of course. I'll do that once I internalize the schema, right? Slow and steady, one step at a time. And then they just responded saying, you'll never learn anything. And then I just responded being like, you're right, I quit art. But like that, you know, my dicking around aside, right? It's like, it just tells me that you must be a beginner or simply ignorant if you don't understand the merit of fundamental foundational work, right? Like, some of you will say you don't need to go this far. You're right. I don't need to go this far, but I want to go this far because I want to push the limits of geometric understanding. I want to see how much can the human brain actually understand, right? And the answer is, if you look at any artist that has accomplished anything in terms of draftsmanship, it's quite a fucking bit. The brain can consistently learn and understand quite a fucking bit. So why can't I, right? And the only answer to that is you can't yet, but through sheer intentional effort, you will be able to. And my brain's fucking dead, so I'm just gonna rest it right now, because I basically was like losing it there at the end. So it's important to rest your brain. Everybody rest your brain now. But yeah, that's all I'm saying is like, this isn't to be like, I'm doing everything right. It's to say I'm doing something that's very hard, right? It has merit. I know it has merit, right? And I will understand everything that I can possibly try to understand, right? I won't ever know anything. That person's absolutely right. Like, I will never understand anything, but this is the path I'm choosing, right? Is to, at the very least, without a fucking doubt, build such a strong geometric understanding that it's only going to pay dividends down the line, right? It's only like, it's impossible for it to not pay dividends down the line. Like, unless spatial reasoning is the most useless skill to learn, which is objectively untrue. So again, the better you understand space and the complexity of space and can calculate space, the better you can draw shit like this from imagination when you've never done it before. I've never drawn a plane before. I've never drawn a dragon before. Only thing I've kind of drawn before is like hard surface shit because I've been practicing it a bunch for like dozens of hours, but I've never drawn a mech before like this ever, literally like this ever, right? Like none of these are visual library things. These are just byproducts of spatial reasoning practice. Let me say that again. There you go. That's what I was trying to say. But these are just byproducts of my understanding of space. and the practice I put towards the fundamentals of understanding space. These are not a reflection of what I actually know, because I do not have a visual library. Again, I only understand line, form, and perspective. But the more complexity you can reason, the more complexity you can deconstruct from the world around you, whether it be through online or real life reference, can retain after deconstructing it and apply easier after deconstructing it. I.e., the more complexity you can do from imagination, the more complexity you can poo from imagination. You're welcome. Put that on a fucking t-shirt. Anyways, let me rest my brain. I encourage you to do the same. And another reason I always keep bringing up the fact that like it takes effort, I get how it feels, all that stuff, is because I always feel like a beginner, you know? And like a lot of the greats, not saying I am great, but the goal is to be, even when I am great, to always feel like a beginner, right? But the feeling like a beginner, I want to explicitly state it comes from the sheer effort I put towards trying to understand, right? Like I want to be very clear, you know, the beginner feeling comes from the sheer effort I put towards trying to understand, which is something I'm sure every beginner, this is actually way too, this might be way too angled, but I'm sure it's something every beginner can relate to, right? Like, the fact is that, hold up, let me try to fucking understand this a little bit better. Try to put this in the box accurately, right? Okay, it has to be something like this, right? And we don't want to overextend it, but something like that, right? And that should be okay, because this is where my, there you go, that's perfect actually. I think this is exactly how thin this front is. And I could be wrong, but like I'm saying, oh yeah, that's exactly how thin the front plane is based on my current understanding of perspective, right? So let's be clear on that, like based on my current understanding of perspective. This has already opened up a lot of space for me to visualize, because while I'm drawing this, I'm consistently still trying to visualize and calculate, at the very least, the entire box, invisible and visible side, as well as the diagonal planes, right? So like it's a constant effort. And again, visualizing while drawing is very difficult. I completely get it. It's something I've always struggled with and something I will consistently struggle with. It's just the complexity and the detail of the visualization will simply become more and more advanced as time goes on. But that doesn't mean that the visualization itself, and I probably should have converged this, I don't think I did, but that doesn't mean the visualization itself gets easier. It's simply the resources that are being allocated to the visualization become more, the resources allocated towards the visualization become more directed towards more and more complex things as you continue to visualize and get better at visualizing. That's the best way I can say this, right? Like, the better you get at visualizing, the more complex it will be. Let's see, so something like this and something like, oh yeah, okay. So that's pretty good. So that's literally the inside of the box. So we can just end this here. See, I couldn't see to that degree, but now that so I couldn't visualize, because now I see how wide this back plane actually is, right? Like how much this convergence is actually going. Because this line, let's say it's converging to a point right here. This one is going basically this much convergence, right? It's a line that's basically like this, right? And then same with this one, it's much more, it's something like that, right? And they're stopping right around the back here, and that is a really wide back plane, which is very accurate, or much more accurate, and it is reflective of the depth that this box has, right? And now with me, I'm trying to visualize that, right? But yeah, anyways, like regarding what I'm trying to say, like the reason I keep talking about the whole like beginners, I know it's hard, right? And relatability, relate to me, give me money, right? A completely fucking solid strat. But more than anything, it's because nobody fucking talks about this. Nobody talks about how hard it is to fucking learn art, right? Like nobody does. Okay, I watched a video. There's like a video, Peter Han Lightbox, came out in 2026. It's probably him it's like a 30-minute video. He's doing a Q&A. I don't know what the exact title is. I love the video. It was great. Peter Han's one of my fucking idols, right? I wish I could go to Lightbox, but I'm broke as fuck. right? So I can't. So for all of you, just know the two people that end up going to Lightbox years down the line. Maybe Viggy's already actually gone there for fucking once, and y'all be like, you all, not y'all. I ain't no Texan, but you all will be like, oh yeah, wonderful. Look, he achieved his dreams. But yeah, I can't go to Lightbox for the time being. But anyways, by the way, while I'm talking, I'm really trying to like spatially reason the inside of the box, as now I'm trying to add the diagonals as well, and that is what's taxing my brain, and that is exactly what I need. Like that is exactly what I need, because it is extremely difficult. And this convergence, my brain, now that it's trying to calculate the diagonals, it's so used to calculating diagonals, something like that, right? But it's not used to calculating diagonals, fuck, that was also wrong. It's not used to calculating diagonals with convergence, like extreme convergence, something like this. So that's something that I can train my brain to do, for lack of a fucking better word, right? To just do. And you can see like it's really wrong. And this is where ghosting comes into play, right? This is where ghosting absolutely comes into play, because now this is actually going to allow me to really, it's a bridge between the prefrontal cortex and the motor cortex, right? And allow me to actually visualize this back end of the box correctly. And I am making a beautiful amount of mistakes, and I'm really trying, and again, like right now, this back right here, it's trying to, this back plane, like this back plane that's projected outward from this front one, in my mind, it looks like this. That's completely wrong, because that's not following this convergence, right? It's much more subtle. It should be looking like this, right? So I need to actively, and that just stems down to the fact that this y-axis on the back plane is too short, because I can't connect it properly in my mind. So I need to actively increase it. I need to increase its length while recognizing that I'm trying to increase its length, right? Let me rest my brain. I'll sporadically throughout the video keep fucking up and trying to say what I was trying to say. But you're all here to be entertained and listen to me, not draw along, right? Fucking please draw along, Jesus Christ. But anyways, let me just try to expend as much last bit of the energy as possible to really see through the box and to see all the the cross axes, the diagonal cross axes. I'm really fucking trying. I'm really trying right now, and it's incredibly difficult to hold the inside of this box because that's 4 invisible planes, right? So this poses its own level of difficulty. And I'm really trying to hold it. Okay. Whew, that was very difficult. It's been 36 minutes. Okay, that's good. That seems to be on par. But, okay, everybody rest your brain, please. Thank you. Alright, beautiful and the dutiful, right? Doesn't make sense, but it kind of rhymed. We all know I'm shit with rhymes. I think today's thumbnail was, what is today? The 16th? 17th, June 17th, right? 2026. Today's video was, I literally just gave up on the rhyme, and then I put that in the thumbnail. I'm like, I don't know how to rhyme this. So like, I don't know, fucking, my thumbnail is getting worse and worse, bro. But that's just the Viggy way. But anyways, oh fuck, okay. Anyways, okay, I said fuck because I almost hit my head on the goddamn camera again, but, you know, that's good old lore for you, you're all welcome. But anyways, I'm trying to visualize this, and while I try to visualize this, I'll try to speak as much as I can regarding what I was talking about. But here, I'm just trying to anchor these 2 points to really get that solidified visualization down. And again, my brain really wants to make this bottom plane a lot wider and this top plane a lot wider, which is why this Y line gets so small, because my brain wants to do this, basically. It wants to do this. Right, like it's completely wrong. Like it basically wants to make these like completely diverging and wrong. Like you see, it just looks retarded, right? But my brain, that's what it wants to do, and of course it wants to do that. Our brains will always and obviously try to do the thing that's easy, comfortable, and that it's known, not the thing that's hard, difficult, and unknown, right? But the reason I keep harping on about how difficult it is to learn art is not because I'm like obsessed with being like, oh yeah, it's about the grind, it's about the grind. It's about being completely honest of the actual journey. So be completely reflective of the effort it takes, right? Art is extremely difficult. Spatial reasoning is extremely difficult. Nobody verbalizes this. I will verbalize it. Nobody explicitly says the effort, the friction they go through, I will do it, right? You're not fucking alone. You know, you're like, literally, you're not alone. I get it, okay? I did thousands of boxes and cylinders. Now this is my fucking new phase of thousands of boxes and cylinders, which is the next fucking level, which is thousands of boxes with this fucking center, with seeing through the form, with the diagonal cross axes inside every single visible and invisible plane, and the 3 center planes that are attached inside of it, and the ellipses inside of those 3 center planes, which then form a sphere inside of it, just as a foundation for the Loomis head, right? I get it. This is gonna take me hundreds of hours and a shit ton of fucking cognitive effort, all with the feeling of every single day not knowing whether it's actually going to be whether I'm going to be able to do it. But lo and behold, I've gone through this once before with the thousands of boxes and cylinders and visualizing form, right? To the extent where like that was the first unlock, right? Where it's like just being able to see this in my mind, right? Like the fucking box, like, and then, you know, obviously the fucking ellipse and the plane and the box and the cylinder inside it. This is obviously wrong, but the point is, you see how fast I did that? Because like I can see that now, and I can see it on a much larger scale, right? But that does not mean that there isn't another level to be reached. There's always a further level to be reached, and the further level right now is like what I'm doing, which is really trying to see through this fucking form, right? Because even here, on that tiny scale I can, but on this large scale, the larger the scale, the harder it is. But the reason I harp on about that is because a lot of people, a lot of artists who are skilled, and Antonio talks about this, again, Antonio from artwod, he talks about the fact that a lot of great artists are not great teachers, right? And it is not because they are not good people or not good artists, right? It is simply 100% absolutely due to the fact that they have forgotten what it's like to learn, right? They have, because a lot of artists, like once they get to a certain level, they kind of stay there, they slowly improve, but like they don't put that sheer fucking effort that like a lot of artists don't. Like there's a lot of artists I look up to who basically kind of just stayed at their level, and like they say like, oh yeah, it's incremental what they're trying to learn and all that shit, and maybe I'll get there too, but from what I can tell, right, they are not putting the extreme amounts of effort to just learn. And for me, like, because I'm so obsessed with form, I know it's infinite. Like my goal is fucking Peter Han and Kim Jong-il, more really just Kim Jong-il more than anything, right? And that man had a visual library and understanding of form like a fucking god. So for me, it's like, okay, I either get there as much as I can or I die, right? More likely, I get there as far as I can and I die, because nobody here is forever, right? But, and again, like while I'm doing this, I'm really trying to think about the diagonal axes, right? Diagonal cross section, sorry, not diagonal axis, right? But the reason I talk about it is because like even in that video, Peter Han was basically like, the interviewer was like, so like about the whole spatial reasoning, drawing from imagination thing, any tips and all that shit, or like any blockers with that? The interviewer kept trying to ask him like, how do you get, like what do you think, what is your mindset when you're practicing these things? And Peter is so above all of it. He is so absolutely crystallized knowledge of decades above all of it. Well, by the way, while I'm talking, I'm constantly making this top plane diverging. In my mind, it looks like this, right? It looks like that, but at that scale. And I have to constantly be like, no, 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 no. It is like this, right? I have to constantly keep doing that. I have to constantly keep doing that. And then while I'm constantly keep doing that, I have to do the same thing with the bottom. And while I'm doing that, I have to see through the entire form and then see the diagonals, right? See the diagonals, and just try to see it as much as possible, right? And I'm really failing right now. I'm really fucking failing. I'm gonna be very clear. Like I can't see anything. And this is the beautiful part about it, because I'm failing, I'm feeling good, right? I'm attaching dopamine to errors. Like these are all good things. These are all absolutely good things. And I'm trying to lean in to these cross axes as much as fucking possible. And the difficulties there. But yeah, like anyways, well, let me just take a step back actually. Let me rest my brain, I'll finish what I was saying, because that was very difficult. Again, my girlfriend fucking challenged me to talk about something completely unrelated while I do something extremely difficult, and which is the spatial reasoning. So I'm using two parts of my brain, right? The prefrontal cortex and the parietal lobe, both of them vying for the finite resource of astrocytic glycogen, which is being diverted and diverged and essentially divided between these two part centers of the brain, right? And if that doesn't already give you a fucking headache thinking about that, imagine how I feel, right? Somebody empathize with me, please. Anyways, please rest your brain. Yeah, anyways, Peter was so fucking above those questions that he's like, oh yeah, no, like, dude, the practice was fine, like, that was all good, but really, it was about the community and the people I was around, which is a great answer, because again, he values community. That's fucking amazing. Like, that's, I wish I had an art community to, like, talk to. Fucking Viggy famers, get to it already. Can this channel just blow up? Can people just revere me as a god who demystified the journey to art already? I guess I'll have to wait 30 years, but, either way, right? Ain't nobody gonna respect me without the receipts. That's just a fact. Facts on facts on facts. Anyways, what's it called? But like, it's a great answer. But really, I could tell the interviewer was trying to be like, bro, like, how do I get to you? How do I get to your level? But the thing is, everybody in the first 5 years, like arbitrary number, but everybody in the beginning of trying to understand, like for those who actually give a shit about becoming good draftsmen, right? It's like, or just excellent draftsman, so that excellent artists, right? Which is line, form, perspective, composition, line, perspective, form, composition, design, fucking line weight in of itself, gesture, anatomy, values, jerking off on the page, like all those things, right? Like those who are in the first 5 to 10 years of trying to get there, they're not looking for, hey man, it's all about the community, man. And by the way, this is my opinion, right? This is my opinion. I'll be very clear. And it's the right opinion. But anyways, like I'm not looking for, like, I really appreciate the answer of, it is all about community. Like, community is a huge part of it. I completely agree. I wish I had a community to draw with. I completely agree. But what I want to hear from masters like this, right? And, you know, like Karl Kapitsky, all that shit, like, then Peter Hahn, fucking Elisa Ivanova, right? Like, what I want to hear them say is that it was fucking hard as shit. It took a fuck ton of effort for the first 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. Like, it was very difficult, right? And it was through sheer effort and consistency and just constantly believing in myself that I got to this point, right? But even Kim Jong-il didn't say shit like that. He was like, oh yeah, it was very hard. It was very hard. He's like, sometimes, but he's such a calm guy too. He was such a calm guy. So even when you say it, you don't get that same visceral sense of, fuck, this guy really fucking tried hard. He was like, because he would explicitly say the words, it was very hard. I would spend hours and hours and hours and I wouldn't get it. And I'd get a headache and I'd fucking throw my paper away in frustration. And I just wouldn't understand, right? And it was very difficult. Like, he'd say all that. But when you say it, like, yeah, it was very hard, and I would throw my paper away, like, it's the tone too. So here I am, unfiltered, piece of shit garbage that you don't care about, saying, I get it, it's fucking hard. My brain is dying right now, trying to fucking goddamn see through this form while I'm trying to calculate the cross axes. But now I can't just stay there, because we have to move on to the next thing, which is, I have to really force myself to. So let me just put a cap on it. What I'm trying to say is, I get how hard it is. I'm here to fucking let my efforts be a mirror to your efforts. Like, I understand, right? Nobody else tells you how hard it is. I'm telling you it's hard. I'm telling you it's a good thing. I'm telling you it's all about the effort. And I'm telling you how to scientifically break down and be an engineer of your brain in order to A, enjoy the effort, B, make the most out of the effort, which is to lean into the friction, lean into the pit of discomfort, lean into the fucking feeling of your brain being like, I don't want to understand this, and you being like, yes you do, and you're making a million mistakes, and that feels amazing, because that's how your brain learns. And then resting in between these extremely intensive X amount of minute bouts within your practice, and then resting for at least 10-15 minutes, no stimulation whatsoever, outside of your practice, right? At the end of it, like, I'm here to not only demystify art, but I'm here to completely fucking showcase and demystify the entire process of adult neuroplasticity and learning. And this applies to fucking kids and teenagers and children's as well, whatever the fuck. But, like, it is a process, and it is an extremely replicable, fuck, not the pen cap! No! God damn it. This right here, this is the main part of the process, fucking distracting yourself and dropping shit a million times. But anyways, to put a cap on it, right? I fucking get it. Like, subscribe, give me money. Anyways, Jesus Christ, bro. My fucking chair is moving all over the place too. Okay, so time to calculate these center planes, right? And I have to calculate these center planes by thinking purely. See, I'm already in extreme discomfort just trying to even fathom calculating these center planes right now, because my brain can barely see the center lines and the diagonal cross axes. But now I have to think about the center plane. Okay, so I have to think about this one, this center plane, right? And I have to think about, this one is just a line. This is literally just the fucking horizon line. So that one's just the line, right? That's the beauty about about this type of perspective. There to go, it's in the middle, wonderful, right? Like this, so this center plane is kind of null, even though it exists. It's literally just a flat line. And my brain is actually having a really hard time conceptualizing this plane even being a flat line, but it is a flat line, and the ellipse inside of it is a flat line as well, right? So the main thing is, like, again, this is actually good because it forces me to really think about the perspective, right? Like this cross axes, right? And then being like, okay, it comes up here, then it comes up there, and then it goes in there, comes up. That's this plane right here projected in the middle, and then we have the side plane, and that one's also very difficult because of course there's more convergence than this front plane, but less convergence than this back plane, right? And that is something that I have to think about, and that's all based on this right here. Let's see, this center line, this diagonal, right? This diagonal, this one right here, this bottom one, like this diagonal, because then I have to put the put the line through there, then it goes up, and then it goes here, something like this, and goes down again, right? And yeah, my brain like really is already struggling to see through this form. I have to constantly feel good about all these hundreds of mistakes I'm making because these top two planes keep getting wider and caving in, and they're wrong. I have to keep pushing it out and keep pushing it out and keep pushing it out, right? And I have to hold it there. Now I have to calculate the center lines, right? And I don't even know if they're in the right spot, right? I don't even know if they're in the right spot. My fucking English is great, but I don't even know if they're in the right spot. And then I have to genuinely see this center, and I'm really struggling right now to see the center and then this center line, and I did it from the invisible then the visible, so I need to do only invisible and then the visible, right? And then I need to see this center plane as well. Sorry, not center line, center plane, right? I need to see that center plane as well. And my body tenses up, by the way. My body tenses up drastically when I try to visualize these things. My eyes are getting extremely warm, right? This is output regression. This is me trying to fucking nasally voice. This is me trying to calculate everything that I possibly can, right? And it's just not happening. It's just not happening. But I'm trying so hard. Again, this back plane is getting really narrow, right? So I need to, oh man, I'm literally sweating. Like, I'm literally fucking sweating, but I'm trying to calculate as much as I can, right? And this is exactly where I want to be. This extreme discomfort I feel, just for the first time, I'm starting to see the inside of the box properly. Like, I'm starting to see through the form properly. I'm seeing the center planes a little bit, just a little bit, but it's all based on these diagonals, right? It's based on this diagonal and then that diagonal, and this is the center. But again, like, you see how I did this diagonal, but I went all the way over here. Where the fuck is this line going? It's supposed to be here because it's converging to this point, and it's supposed to be stopping right here, right? Because this is like still the plane. So this is the center right here, and then bring in here, come down there, come on your back, bring it in here, come up there, right? So that is, and again, like, they're caving in. Like, this center plane in the middle is doing something like that. Completely wrong. It's always gonna happen. You're always gonna keep having to fight, and just through sheer effort, you have to fight against the unwillingness of your brain to calculate it, and then you have to accept and enjoy the mistakes it makes. It's almost paradoxical. It's like, fight the effort, fight the resistance, push through it with effort, and at the same time, feel good about the mistakes that it's making, because that's a reflection of growth that is occurring through this intense bout of neuroplasticity that your brain is experiencing due to the sheer effort, errors, and dopamine, i.e. norepinephrine, acetylcholine, and then dopamine, right? But anyways, whew, lots of mistakes, lots of beautiful mistakes. 51 minutes, cool. Let's try to do that, envision that fuckery one more time, and then we will try to actually put the ellipses inside of it, which is already like insane. That's all I can say. It's already like insane to think about, but yeah, gotta put the ellipse inside of it, right? And with that being said, let me rest my brain. I encourage you to do the same. Oh. Okay, wonderful. Anyways, let's finish this up, right? We got like 15 minutes left. Technically less than 10, but we all know the videos go on for an hour now. The practice sessions go on for more than an hour now. Purely because of my own ineptitude to be perfect from the get-go. Because that's what art is, right? You're just born with it, or you just can't do it anymore. Sorry, you're just not born with it. Right? Oh, by the way, just completely as an aside, since my girlfriend did mention to talk about some random bullshit that I don't care about, right? I just saw the box properly. I literally just saw the box properly, the inside of it properly for a split second. Holy shit, that's my brain learning? Oh my god, am I? It cannot be. Bacana. My brain is seeing even further beyond. Anyways, no, like, because she mentioned to fucking think about something or talk about something completely unrelated. So, oh my god, actually I'm seeing the inside of the box. Now I just need to see the cross axes properly, right? Holy shit. And I think I do see it slightly well. Only the back plane though, that's the hardest to figure out, right? So I'm really trying to see this back plane's cross axes, right? Diagonal cross axes, and then let's try to get the vertical center planes in. And while I do that, I'm actually going to try to start getting the ellipses in there as well, because we only have two ellipses to think about this time around, right? Because we only have two center planes that are actually visible. Like, this one's literally a fucking straight line, right? This one right here. Actually, is it a straight line? Fuck, is it a straight line? Oh no, it's not a straight line. God damn it. Wait, please, give me this out for once. Give me this fucking out. Right, you see, I'm a bitch too, bro. I don't want to fucking think. No, it is a straight line. Anyways, but that's why you have to fight against it. But I'm watching an anime called Wisteria, Wand and Sword, and it's pissing me off. The art and animation is great. People always conflate art and animation. I would absolutely hope anybody here knows the fucking difference, right? And also gets a rage boner like I do when they hear that shit, right? Just for the shits and giggles to get completely baited by dipshits on Reddit. Who are also extremely privileged, by the way. Oh, the art and animation this episode wasn't as good as last episode. Oh yeah, quiet. Like, what are they doing? It's like, shut the fuck up. Do you know about the fucking animation industry in Japan? It's literally called the exploitation of passion, you dipshit. Alright, it's fucking retard. It's called the exploitation of passion. It's not called the abundance of wealth and comfort and for animators. Like, that's not what it's called. Okay? Like, art, for worse, not better at all, but for worse, is something that everybody loves to the point where they will forsake their own fucking rights to just be able to draw the thing that they want to draw, right? And again, my brain is like caving in the center plane like this, right? Like highly converging it, right? This center plane, the one that's projected out from this plane right in front of us, right? Like the one that's lines over here, that's, fuck me, I made that another stupid line, but that center plane, right? And it's just always about fighting that, and I'm trying to see the ellipse properly, right? I'm trying to see the ellipse inside of it properly, which is something like this basically, right? But it needs to be here, so just see that ellipse. And again, like my ability to draw these ellipses will get better the better I can see these invisible planes. Like, it's as simple as that, right? It's all about and this is why I know that you can see these lines, because there's this one beautiful line Kim Jong-gi says, right, in one of the interviews, right? I can, because the fucking interviewer's like, drawing is thinking? You're thinking while doing this? What? I just thought it was something you pulled out of your ass, right? It's like, no, of course. And then she's like, wow, I can't even fathom this. And he's like, yes, I wish you could see the invisible lines that I can. Something like that. He said, I wish you could see the invisible lines I see, right? And that, to many people, is like, oh, I wish I could see it too. He's a talent. And for me, it's like, oh, he just wishes that that people could see what he sees, i.e., he just wishes that people had his level of spatial reasoning to understand what he's talking about, right? And the answer is, I will do it. I will simply do it, or I will die trying, right? It's as simple as that, right? I will do it, or I will die. And already I'm starting to get 1% of the lines that he's talking about, right? Why? Because I'm trying to see. It's all about trying to see. So if anything, what he was saying, I'm interpreting it as a challenge to be like, oh, I wish you could see it. It's like, okay, cool, bro. I'll just put the 5,000 hours required to try it and see it. Simple, right? And okay, so now we need to think about the ellipses, right? So I've been really trying to see the ellipses, as you can hopefully see by my ghosting, right? Like, I've been trying to calculate them, right? But I've been completely losing the diagonal lines. So I need to keep the diagonal lines and I've been losing the inside of the box as well. So you see, like, once I try to calculate on one thing, everything else falls apart, right? So the goal is obviously to try to hold everything as much as possible while trying to calculate, right? And I know, like, I'm making so many beautiful mistakes just seeing through the form. Just seeing through the form, not even like seeing the center lines or anything, but just seeing through the form. Jeez, that one really told me to shut up so it could come out, right? But maybe I'll bait everybody with a coming out video at one point. I'm coming out, and then probably be some stupid joke, literally like of my closet, and it's like, I'm here, right? That'll definitely get me dislikes, which will get me attention, which will get me views, because no attention is bad attention, or fuck, bad attention is good attention. I don't know what the fucking saying is. Any attention is good attention? Fucking maybe. But anyways, again, my brain is really trying to like diverge these two lines, right? Like this top plane and this bottom plane. I need to constantly keep making that beautiful error of trying to fix them, right? And then I need to see all the diagonals. So I'm just trying to do it one step at a time again, like trying to see the diagonals on every single invisible and visible plane, right? And I haven't been able to do that, but I'm really trying to think about it. Now I'm trying to see the center planes, right? I'm really trying to see the center planes, right? I'm really trying to see these center planes, right? And then now I'm trying to see the ellipses inside these center planes. I don't know why I'm doing the fucking 20th Century Fox music. But anyways, it's just really trying to see that. And now I have to think about the ellipse. So I think the ellipse is literally, because it's made it a lot simpler, it's just something like, let's see, something like this. Fuck, hold up. So this is this. This is where this one is. So it's something like, and then this is just a straight line. Yeah, something like this. So the ellipse end is like right here. And I'm fucking grinding my brain trying to see this, bro. Again, this 3-plane convergence, because what I'm trying to do is like see the center plane, right? This is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to see the center plane. That's like that one. And and then there's this one in the front, right? And then there's this straight line. Then I'm trying to see the ellipses inside all of it, right? And then I'm trying to connect it while seeing all those three things, right? Which is what forms the sphere. A crude artist representation. But yeah, that's the general idea. And all of that can only be seen by first seeing through the box and then thinking about the diagonal cross axes, right? So lots of shit to think about. And again, I'm really uncomfortable, so I'm gonna rest my brain again, because I did try to really lean into it. Now the next time I'm just gonna lean the fuck into it, try to see as much as I can. I'm gonna grind my again, just try to hold these fucking 50 plus calculations, right? It's a fuck ton of calculations. They're all fucking calculations. And half of these, if not 80% of the calculations I'm talking about, this is a new schema as well, right? It's a new angle, therefore a new model, a new representation of this model, right? But the main thing I'm trying to say is like, a lot of this information that I'm trying to calculate right now has not been chunked, and chunking is the consolidation process your brain goes through, and it only occurs again when you lean into the effort and you attach dopamine to the errors that you make, because then your myelin sheath gets thicker, and B, synaptic pruning, i.e. the removal of inefficient connections and the strengthening of efficient connections, or more correct corrections, occur during these gap effects, during your sleep, but the consolidation and replaying of this information and these mistakes that you keep making and the learning that's occurring happens during these gap effects during practice, and then the 15-minute rest after practice. So rest your brain. Thank you. It is hilarious to think about the fact that about 300 parts of this portrait series will just be a guy drawing a box. Just what the fucking, just talking to a fucking box and being like, no, trust me, I'm thinking about all these things. But the non-hilarious part and the absolute reality and sheer evidence will be that once I start drawing some cracked portraits, years from now, of course, right? Because long-term delayed gratification. But years from now, it'll be like, how are you doing this? What are you seeing? And then I'll break down again what exactly I see when I do it, and then it'll be like, what? How? Oh my goodness! How is it possible that when you've just been drawing boxes and portraits for the past 300 hours that you can draw, and they'll probably be more complex than this, things like these? Oh my God! And then maybe my words will have merit. Maybe they. But anyways, here's fucking, now we have to actually draw this woman's face, right? So I have to calculate everything, and I just need to relax my body, because my body tenses up when I do such intense calculations, and the pit of discomfort is slowly coming back. And again, my brain really wants to, make that, but like I gotta keep pushing it up. Okay, so I think again that's where ghosting really helps, right? To be like, no, that's the correct spot. That is the correct spot right there, right? And that is something that's really hard for my brain to see right now, but that's why I'm trying to see it. It's as simple as that, right? And now that I've had that, just like that little bit of anchoring, I'm trying to hold that in my brain as much as possible. And that's very difficult, but it is happening a little bit. Actually, it is happening a little bit where I'm able to zoom out and hold these properly. The length of this back Y line, right, in the correct spot and the correct height, right? And while I'm trying to hold that, I'm trying to think about the diagonal cross axes on every single diagonal Jesus Christ, cross axes, that's the right word, cross axis on every invisible plane, and that's where I'm losing it, so I got to keep bringing it back. And now I have to think about the center planes. I'm trying to think about this center plane, right, and then this center plane, this way, this center plane, and then the ellipses inside of that while I'm trying to hold this together, right, which is this ellipse. Let me just ghost it, might as well. This ellipse, right, and then this ellipse, which is just a straight line, and then this ellipse, right? Right, and that then forms where the fuck is this front ellipse? Yeah, that then forms this sphere, like so, that is around it. something like that. There you go. Oh, it's not perfect, but I'm perfect. But this is not perfect. Anyways, okay, now let's just draw this woman's fucking face and get this over with, bro. I'm so tired. So, again, the eye line, the eyebrow line. I actually don't even know where the fuck her eyebrow is, but because her hair is actually blocking it. And we don't actually see the other side of her face, which makes complete sense considering this is the end of the sphere, right? And the nose is right around here. Let's see. I'm definitely gonna be fucking a bunch of this up. Let's be completely honest, right? But this is... because again, these are 3D forms. Never forget, the eye is a fucking 3D form. Right? Ah, fuck. The eye, oh god, I made the eye way too close to the eyebrow. You see, like, my proportional, relational fucking calculations or ability to calculate that shit goes out the fucking window as well. While I'm trying to think about the sphere and the scene through form and everything. Like, again, I want to be very clear. Like, by this point, I see nothing. Right? By this point, I see nothing, I know nothing. I am nothing, I'm a piece of shit. Right? But we must obviously continue onwards. Because that is all we can do. I can only continue onwards. I can't do anything else. Right? So, and then there's a chin. And let's see. This woman has quite the prominent chin. Whee! There you go. And then, oh fuck me, those lines. Okay, so I need to think about the ellipse again, right? And it's right around here is her ear, I think. Because if I do this center line, right, that's the ellipse, and then this is this ellipse, and this one, so it's right around here, should be somewhere right around here. So I'm just gonna draw it here, and then we're gonna get it wrong, but that's gonna be a great way for me to be like, hey, good, I'm wrong. But again, like, I can't really visualize anything. You know, my brain would love to. I would love to visualize everything. Genuinely, I would love to, but that's not how fucking learning works, right? So let's just, it's kind of like this. She has a bit of a double, so let's just give it that, right? And then that is like the base of her skull, right? Made her look a lot more masculine, but you know, that's the power of not knowing anything. Yeah, I made that chin way too fucking big. It should have been a bit smaller, but yeah, it also, like, her eyes, I did not get, like, the eye's not positioned correctly at all. But either way, there you go. And I think she has like a little, there you go, little chubby cheekies. But okay. Not bad. Positionally, right? I need to obviously, well, actually, fuck, I think I fucked this up too. Well, I think this face is okay because it's still inside the box. And I'm still obviously struggling with understanding, like, the spatial relations, but overall, this is definitely in the center, I think. Yeah, but this is not the center. What the fuck? Why is the eyebrow all the way up here? So I fucked that up. I love how I fucked that up incredibly. So the eyebrow's supposed to be down here. So that was a mistake on my end, right? I put the eyebrow way too high up. So yeah. Okay. Anyways. Oof. Okay. Yeah. Let's just draw through the form. Amazing. And again, what the fuck? Again, while I'm doing this, I am gonna be actively thinking as much as I can about the form in and of itself. Right? So, like, I did not see this depth. Like, this depth you're seeing, I did not see that. I tried to see it, but I did not see it. So, like, this, I'll tell you where my brain was stopping. My brain was stopping right around here somewhere. Right? And this is the opportunity for that nuance, right? Where it's like, not even like the very clear opportunity for, like, okay, this is exactly where I fucked up. Right? So this is obviously what makes this box a lot more three-dimensional, a lot more like a box, right? Which is this extreme convergence, right? And that's why, like, if this is the vanishing point right there, it's going there, this is going there, that's going there. It's all very rough, but, like, that is what I believe the reference was, right? From what I can tell, you know? And I think I made the tilt a bit too much. When I look at her face, it should have been more like this, more like that, right? Yeah, should have been more like this. So if you can't tell the difference between this versus this discrepancy, if you couldn't initially tell, wonderful, you have an opportunity for your eye to get better at being able to tell that, right? Because I couldn't tell that shit at the beginning. I couldn't tell that shit for hundreds of hours. I'm barely getting there now. Fuck this. Look at that. There's ink all over my finger. That's how much I care about you guys. I get ink on my finger, right? This is just turned into like a gaslighting about how much of a good content creator I am. But anyways, while I'm drawing these, I'm obviously going to be trying to visualize them in my mind to the best of my ability. Keyword being to the best of my ability, because Lord fucking knows, Lord knows that he ain't got no ability, but he be trying. Amen. Amen. Right, under the blood, under the blood. My fucking girlfriend showed me the SNL skit, and then like an Instagram reel where apparently it was actually legit. Some guy did, some pastor? Yeah, I guess clearly a pastor was singing it. And I was like, damn. People be wildin', as the youngin said. Me, I'm the youngin. I'm only 28, fuck you. Right, so yeah, I'm trying to see, that's what I was trying to see. Like this, as well as this. Right, this is the diagonal cross-axis he so famously spoke about, right? He always says the cross-axis, but what does he mean? This is what he means. Okay, but what does he really mean? No, really, this is what I mean. But like, okay, but like, is it really the fundamentals? Are they really that important? Listen, boy, I got one gun and 10 bullets. Don't test me. Don't test me. Anyways, let's see. So like, that's the first step, right? Technically the first two steps, but that's like that's basically what grinded the fuck out of my brain. My brain? It truly was the bane, but my brain overall. And then we add the center planes. I totally love the center planes, right? But let's see this. Yeah, this, I was right here. This is basically a straight line. Ignore the fact that I raised this slightly by accident to meet that straight line, to meet the thing. But yeah, it's basically like non-existent. That plane is, this is just the horizon line, right? And I say just, but if that concept is hard to understand, I completely get it. By the way, like I completely understand, because it is hard to understand, right? Like I don't say just in the sense of like, oh yeah, it's just the horizon line, because if you can barely understand the horizon line, then I don't know what the fuck you're doing here, because I feel as if I'm just gonna be confusing you more. But just like I'm confusing myself, goddamn, bro. So this center plane, that is also under the blood, right? There you go. So this center plane, right? That's the first one, the second one, right? And then this fucking horizontal center plane, which I'm gonna have to start here because I'm losing track of my own goddamn lines. Wait, is this where you are? Totally, that has to be where you are. This is all a TFS reference, Stream 4-star Dragon Balls Z reference. Totally has the Dragon Balls. But anyways, and then this way, yeah, this center plane, right? And then this one is coming up here. So you can see, hopefully, why it's going to take me hundreds of hours to internalize this. It is not because I'm incompetent. It is because I am trying to be highly competent, right? So that's just like everything not involving the ellipses, which is already a mindfuck, right? And according to that one very kind commenter, it is an interesting thought experiment, right? Wow, it's crazy that in what fucking universe is this an interesting thought experiment? God damn it! This is a hashtag Viggy rant moment. Everybody, make sure to get your popcorn, or just click off the video because there's something entertaining about me just bitching as always. But yeah, in what universe is this an interesting thought experiment? You think I'd willfully subject myself to calculating dozens of to doing dozens of calculations, right, as an interesting thought experiment? No, my friend, this has merit, it has purpose, right? Some might say it has chutzpah. I would not say that because I'm not a fucking retard, but some might say that, right? But let's see, so that ellipse, this is just a straight fucking line, but it basically stops and ends right around here, like right there. If you were to be like, oh, ellipse, it stops roughly right around there. And then see from that plane, and then we have this one as well, and that one is a little bit more difficult for me to visualize right now because there's a fucking million lines in the way. But let's just give it a shot. Oh, he's giving it a shot. He's shooting so hard. So I'm definitely getting better at drawing larger ellipses that are correct for fucking once, right? So look, I got that right. The edge of this. Look at that, I got that right. So the rest was just so the actual sphere in this context is just this, right? Again, like this sphere just wraps around these, so it's just wrapping under the blood, right? It's just wee. And over here. Because it has to meet all of them. I mean, this is not... My spheres fucking could use a lot of work. But this is the general math. The math. I don't know why I said like that, but this is the general math that it takes. Not a good sphere, to be honest. I think something's... I mean, this always comes down to like the height of my ellipses being incorrect, because this is too tall of a sphere, right? But maybe the ellipse ends a little bit more over here, like so. See, that's a better sphere if it ends right around here. Bars. But either way, like roughly that's the math, right? Roughly. And that's why it's gonna take me hundreds of hours, because I'm 100 fucking like just maybe 100 hours in. Yeah, I'm into doing this specific schema. I'm this specific schema, like the corrected, fucking objectively correct schema, I'm 10 hours in. But to doing the wrong one, but which still was taxing the fuck out of my working memory, making me calculate a million things, that one, I did like 80 hours of, 90 hours of, maybe in like, probably like 95 hours of. But yeah, there's like 10, no, well, clearly like 15 hours, because I think 5 reps in is when I understood it properly, like 5 to 7 reps in. But yeah, with that being said, I hope you tried a lot. That really grinded my brain. I'm gonna be back in about 40 minutes after I shower to, and like, put this on my laptop, because I don't have much space on my phone, so I gotta put it on my laptop. But that is the practice session. I will be back to do one more rep, and just a sneak peek, right? Let me do a little bit cheating. Fuck, never mind. I can't even draw properly. I gotta let this ink rest, I guess. Anyways, I hope you tried a lot. I hope you put a lot of effort in. Right, that was a good session. And as always, fuck you for watching. Keep drawing. Oh, and rest your brain. Yeah, rest your brain. Keep drawing. Keep drawing. What the fuck? Fuck you for watching. Keep drawing. Yeah, and please give me money. Yeah.